his troop and his brother scouts, makes him pitch in and carry his share of the load. All of these help to build the loyalty, which means devotion to community, to country, to one's own ideals, and to God. Let the blue of the Eagle badge always inspire your loyalty.
The third obligation of an Eagle Scout is to be courageous. In this, I have no doubts of your ability, Matt. As I've indicated in the card, our family provides the counsel, the unit, or anything get in your way of your scouting experience. Take off to the jamboree, take off to the OA trail crew, many things that take courage to make sure you have the scouting career that you want. Courage has always been a quality by which men measure themselves and others. To a scout, bravery means not only the courage to face physical danger, but the determination to stand up for the right, trusting in God with faith in his fellow man. He looks forward to each day, seeking his share of the world's work to do. Let the red of the Eagle badge remind you always of courage.
The final responsibility of an Eagle Scout is service. The Eagle Scout extends a helping hand to those who still toil up scouting's trail, just as others helped him in his climb to the Eagle. The performance of the daily good turn takes on a new meaning when he enters a more difficult.
When Matt was 3 years old, he came to his mother and asked if he could please have a big brother. Now, 3-year-olds can't understand the biological difficulty that would be required to fulfill such a request, seeing as how he's the oldest child of his family. But it's funny the way things work out, because looking back, it's easy to see that the big brother in Matt's life, the role model that was a constant presence from a young age, turned out to be scouting. And it's easy to see also that through scouting, Matt has turned into a big brother for many young boys in the community. Many of them are here to help us celebrate today, and it is our hope that this event will serve as an inspiration for them to strive towards the goal Matt has now attained. We've heard a lot today about the steps toward the rank of Eagle Scout in abstract terms. Meg and I thought we would give you a glimpse of the path that Matt took on his way to this ceremony. It started in Carbondale, Illinois with Cub Scout Pack 251, then moved to St. Charles when Matt was in 3rd grade and joined Pack 108 at Davis School to become a Webelos. The crossover to Troop 13 took place in 2002, and from there Matt began the quest that has culminated in our gathering together this afternoon. There have been a number of special events along the way during this time. At one point, his peers elected Matt to the Order of the Arrow, the Honor Society for the Boy Scouts. An administrative hiccup found him attending Seabase High Adventure in the Florida Keys with a troop based in Port Huron, Michigan. And that unusual but fortuitous arrangement led to an invitation to the Boy Scout Holy Grail, the National Jamboree held outside Washington, D.C. in 2005. Matt's active participation in the Order of the Arrow facilitated his acceptance to the trail crew at Philmont Scout Ranch in New Mexico, where he broke trail in the wilderness and made friendships with fellow scouts from all over the country. The last step in completing the Eagle Scout rank is a community service project. And after hearing about a local organization that provides outdoor activities for inner city and underprivileged kids, Matt collected donations of new and used camping equipment on behalf of that group. Over a 2-week period, Matt managed to collect 15 tents and other assorted camping gear, including a donation of 8 heavy-duty tents from Troop 13 itself. The director of the organization, can we ask Tom Fuller, is he here today? Did he make it? Does not appear that he did, no. We were hoping that he would be with us today to help us celebrate this great achievement. Becoming an Eagle Scout is about many things, but among the most important is commitment. Why does a boy lead his patrol on a hike for 20 miles through the rain, soggy and exhausted? Why does he sleep outdoors in weather better suited to a polar bear? Why does he step in at a moment's notice to assume leadership positions when his troop is depleted? Why does he mentor younger scouts, liaise with scout leaders, and represent his troop to the Regional Honor Society? Why does he repeatedly answer the call to assist with day camp, yet again this summer, for dozens of rambunctious Cub and Tiger Scouts, even though friends in good weather beckon him away? boy does not do these things for a patch, a pin, an afternoon full of speeches, and a table of hot dogs and potato salad. He does it because he has made a commitment, and he honors that commitment not just for himself, but for those who are counting on him. Honoring commitments is a reflection of a man's dedication, his honor, his trustworthiness, his stamina, and his willingness to do the right thing, even though it's rarely the easy thing. Temptation flows like a waterfall through our consumer society, seductions of many unmentionable sorts lure more and more of our youth into a vortex of self-destruction from which few have the fortitude to escape. None of us here are without our vices, small though they may be. Matt is no exception. My monthly cell phone bill sometimes stands as testament to that very fact. But for a young man in today's world to make a conscious decision to reject the life-turned slave to temptation and instead dedicate himself to a pursuit with concrete value and lasting importance, such a feat should not be underestimated. It is a comfort to see that a young man can sort through the skateboard Nintendo Palooza media cyclone and realize that the award he earns today is truly something that resonates through time itself, echoing his name along with those who have gone before him, and calling upon those yet to come to take up the torch and continue this worthy and honored tradition. It is a beacon of hope, too few in our lives these days, and we are well advised to take note. We had just a moment ago the Eagle Scouts rise and renew their oath here along with Matt. And I look at the people in this room who have earned this award, and I can't help but feel pride in the company that our son will be keeping. The success and leadership encapsulated in the Eagle Scouts standing before us and around the world is inspiring. But it reminds me of the responsibility that is now imparted to Matt as well. The strength of the Eagle Scout badge is in its recipients. The badge itself has no more inherent value than the other ones on his sash. It is the people behind the badge that make it precious. It now becomes important for Matt to do his part to strengthen the badge, to demonstrate through his actions and how he lives his life that he belongs in such elite company. This is a time of major transition for Matt, becoming an Eagle Scout, graduating high school, preparing for university in the fall. As his parents, it is a time of transition for us also, one flooded with the memories of days gone by. It is good to remember the past, but it is also good to remember that it is in the past. The days of our young boy are at an end. The life of a strong and capable young adult is just beginning. The young man before you today has been a mentor to his peers, role model to his charges, an inspiration to the adults who have guided him, and an unending source of pride to his parents. This is the beginning of a life to be envied. We'd like to relate one story from Matt's travels that's meaningful to us. During a game of hot seat at a school-sponsored retreat about 6 to 8 months ago, one of the participants was asked the following: if you were in danger and you had to pick somebody in this room to save your life, who would it be? The person replied, Matt Vicencio, no question. Now, as a parent, it feels good to know that people who know our son think of him in that way. Somebody who, when the chips are down, will come through for you. However, the answer becomes even more meaningful when you know that it was not given by another student. The person answering that question was the teacher. Congratulations to Matt, and thanks to everyone for coming this afternoon.
I was also wondering whether this was a dubious invitation, because I left scouting 35 years ago. I left it to be more involved in sports, and frankly, all I got out of that was a pair of arthritic ankles and an ongoing weight problem. I probably would have been better off staying with scouting. Because I haven't been involved in scouting for over 35 years, I decided to go online and find out a little bit about what I'd missed. Found out that as of 2005, since 1911, there have been nearly 83 million, or over 83 million scouts. Of that number, only 1.8 million have ever attained the rank of Eagle Scout. That's less than 2%. If you're in the top 2 percentile coming out of high school, Harvard, Stanford, Chicago, throw money at you. If you're in the top 2% in law school, you may clerk for a Supreme Court justice. You are in a very exclusive club, Matt. Some of the people that have attained this rank include Jim Lovell, the astronaut, Gerald Ford, the president, Bill Bradley, the senator, Tom Foley, the Speaker of the House, and Steven Spielberg. It's pretty impressive, and you are now one of those people. We are here to honor and to celebrate your achievement, and it's a very impressive accomplishment. But one thing that all your scoutmasters and your father have gotten through to you about is that there is an obligation that goes along with this. Honor, loyalty, courage, and service. These are not just words. They have meaning now. You and I have talked about this. I've told you that if you attain this rank, from now on, anybody who ever hears that you're an Eagle Scout is going to hold you in higher esteem. But with that also goes a higher standard to which you're to be held. Look around you. See all the friends and family that are here to support you and to cheer you on. This is a very impressive moment for you. Enjoy it. I know if your grandmother were here today, she'd be beaming with pride in her grandson's accomplishment. But don't shirk the responsibilities that come with this. Enjoy them, embrace them. That's why you tried to get this award and why you have finally attained it. We're all very proud of you, and your Aunt Jody and I couldn't be more proud of you if you were our own son. Enjoy today and do great things with the rest of your life. Thank you.
First, I'd like to thank you all for recognizing me as you have. I really am honored by all the things that you've said about me and all the time that you've spent putting the effort that you have into my scouting career. It really has made me very, very humble. The passage that I'm going to read next is something that I wrote relating to the Philmont trip that I took in 2006. The peak was huge. This thing must have taken at least 10,000 years to form. But before I could complain anymore, our group was climbing it, just another peak to tuck modestly under our scout belts. We'd been building trail for the past 4 days. Our bodies had acclimated to the elevation and our clothes had sufficiently soaked up the New Mexico dust. Our foreman had been pushing us on to our physical limits as we built trail in the Philmont Scout Ranch Mountains. We knew about this kind of work when we applied. We were all seasoned Boy Scouts, and this is what we came here for. What we had been spending the last 3 months preparing for. At every campsite we arrived at, our staffers were waiting for us. They would welcome us and call us Owansee boys. Each time we heard this, we would look at each other devilishly and then focus our attention back on the trail. I know that this is a very cliched idea to relate to life in a natural landform, but I really can't think of anything better to translate this. Life is like the top of the peak. It's challenging, and it takes up the lifetime. You've been training for months, you're mentally tired, and your body is exhausted. You can't turn around after all that work and effort that you've put into the peak. Nagging little doubts begin to pop up in your mind about your capabilities walking and not falling down the rest of the mountain. But you begin to realize that the less you think about the peak, the easier the climb goes. You keep your head up and your feet fall into place on the trail. The weight on your back begins to feel lighter. The hunger in your belly begins to fade. The peak looks closer now. The next thing you know, your head is resting upon your camping pillow and your hunger pains are gone and your mind is at ease. But how did you get to that point? The path that is taken is not always the easiest. Sometimes it takes more than just a click to autopilot to make the journey. Rain is an unwelcome occurrence in any hike, and heat is not any better, but more tolerable. The trail could be rough, or there could be a broken tree in the path, or a rock slide. This is not always easy, but the end of the journey is always welcome. If the end of the journey is a bachelor's degree in your major of choice, then there must be something fruitful to keep you on the path. The rain is not just the water on the brow, but it is the sleepless night you spend studying for your next exam or working to get a 15-minute long presentation done on time. If the next goal or rendezvous point is a happy and successful life, then your path will be longer, more strenuous, and more intense. Boy Scouts taught me how to put my poncho on in the rain, taught me how to put my backpack on and make it feel lighter, how to acclimate my body to the rugged terrain. The journey to Eagle isn't easy. It's littered with challenging tasks. The big picture will show your true character. This was a part of the journey, but that's not all that Boy Scouts has to offer. It offers friendship, brotherhood, and a lifelong moral code to live by. You can compare this to other organizations, but for me, nothing will beat my Order of the Arrow Trail Crew brothers. We went through it all at Philmont in just those 2 weeks. We shared experiences that no one else will. We've kept in touch for these past 2 years, like brothers, like family. This is just one thing that Boy Scouts can do. It can bring people who normally don't even sit at the same lunch table together. Now we are brothers from different walks of life in different parts of the country with different interests. That kind of bond is what it means to be a scout. To be a good person and to do your good turn daily. To be prepared doesn't just mean to have a first aid kit ready in hand when a friend falls and scrapes themselves. It means to be ready for what life has to hand you. It means to be prepared for anything, mentally, emotionally, and physically. To take up the challenge and walk the path that others may not. To be the one who will get up and lead. I ask all of you sitting here to take up at least one little call in your life. It could be just to lead a group project at school, or to help someone in need, or even mowing your grandfather's lawn when he's out of town. Make it yours, but make it worthwhile. Because in the end, the choices you will make will be the ones you live with. Thank you.
Lord, as we leave this place, we ask that you would pour out your blessing upon this community in St. Charles that has been a comfort and a cradle to so many of us. We ask that you would pour out your blessings upon Troop 13 and its leaders, the many people who have been so dedicated in their service to the young people of this community. And Lord, we ask that you let your servant Matt Vicencio go in peace to live a life of leadership. Let your servant go in peace in service to others, and let him go in peace as a leader in this community and in this country. Amen.